tear off my ISP's head and shit down its neck. Okay? My fucking internet just turned off. How is... This playthrough is cursed! This playthrough is literally cursed. I fucking pissed off some voodoo priest at some point. I can't even tell if I'm live. Twitch is just like spinning its wheels right now. Okay, I think I'm live. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I don't even remember the last thing I said. I was talking about things I know about that game. The only other thing I know about the game is that the title sequence changes. Or the title changes, the title graphic. This is like... Come back and the stream is dead. This is the fight. We're on that Digimon level crap. Like, shit is exploding around me at this point to prevent this playthrough from concluding. Surprise attack! Joke's on you, game. I'm gonna finish this playthrough. If this is the last playthrough that ever appears on Twitch, if Twitch somehow just, like, I don't know, turns into asparagus or something, like some magician is like, Twitch, the totality of Twitch becomes asparagus or something. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm very flustered right now. This will still be the last playthrough. I will finish this game. I think Zeus is afraid of my power. I think that's the only thing we can... You thought about going to YouTube, right? I've wanted to go to YouTube for a while, honestly, but I'm mostly worried about audience retention. Like, I'm worried... The only reason I haven't tried to switch to YouTube is because I'm worried people won't follow me to YouTube. Otherwise, I would have switched, like, years ago. YouTube gaming was definitely rough at first, but it definitely seems to be pulling over. It has a lot of high... Like, it's also a lot more searchable. Has a higher, like, searchability rating. Or... What am I trying to say? Not searchability. It has... It's better at putting the content in front of people, is what I'm attempting to say, right? Like, there's not a lot of... God, why... What am I... Twitch is very bad at promoting content to people, right? It's basically like this big old pool that you have to go for bobbing for apples in, right? And YouTube is a lot better about promoting content because, like, it has a better, like, searching algorithm, and it'll be like, here, you might like this bullshit, and then it'll put this bullshit in front of you. Sometimes, like, if you keep your search history tracked by YouTube, it'll sometimes even, like, YouTube will even, like, suggest shit to you that you wouldn't even think you liked, is a thing. Whereas Twitch does not do that, because all Twitch wants you to do is YouTube wants you to stay on site to watch more ads, but Twitch wants you to watch the big streamers because they get paid more from that. So Twitch is also a lot worse at promoting shit. So, like, And also, I have more experience dealing with YouTube than I do Twitch, honestly. Like, it would be an all-around good move to go to Twitch for me. It's just...
Mina, is there anyone in the museum?
It's normal hours.
Don't really want to start from zero, you know?
It's a light day for tourists. But that's still a lot of people if the bomb goes off.
I won't let it happen.
Hopefully I already take it. I'm having a little trouble, like, talking tonight for some reason. Probably because I'm so annoyed about the constant problems I've had during this playthrough. But hopefully that was articulate enough that the points came across. Like, the basic issues are, like... I think the streams would basically, I have an easier time dealing with YouTube because I know how YouTube works more, and I'm a lot more familiar with the website than I am with Twitch. And there's also a lot of, like, streaming advantages just mechanically from streaming on YouTube as opposed to Twitch. And also, I believe the streams would be more popular on YouTube than they are on Twitch. Have you tried telling... Well, first off, do you track your history on YouTube? Because that is part of the algorithm. Like, if you don't have YouTube tracking your history, or you regularly delete your history, it won't perform as well. Alright, really not my best work as far as shooting goes. Oh, on Twitch. Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah, Twitch only wants you to watch the popular streamers. Because it makes them more money. They get more ads, more brand deals, they have, like, contracts worked out with them for higher pay. Although, there will probably be a pretty large exodus coming from Twitch, because Twitch is talking about reducing pay to its, like, head partners from, like Twitch wants, like, 50% of the, like, revenue from the streams, which will... I mean, you don't... Look, anyone in marketing will tell you, rule number one, you don't fuck with the money. Like, streaming platforms are made by their creators, so if Twitch is like, we are cutting your pay in half, they will probably be cutting the amount of streamers they have access to in half also. Like, it would be a really stupid move, but let's see if they're willing to make it. Because YouTube gaming is now developed to a point where it can support streamers on the platform. So, if Twitch streamers want to move to YouTube... Like, the evidence is shown for, like, big streamers, the impact will be minuscule. Like, their core audience will follow them. So, I don't know what Twitch is doing. Twitch is ran by a bunch of jackasses that have no idea what they're doing. My YouTube front page is a little more accurate, but it's still hit or miss. What I do is whenever I get something I genuinely don't want to watch repetitively, I'll, like, click the option that says, hey, I'm not interested in this video, or I'm not interested in this channel. Mission primer. Attention, for those who aren't paying attention at the briefing, we have an inside man at the museum giving us access to the tunnel systems that's normally used for moving valuable relics in the middle of the night. This will let us show up in the heart of the museum and circumvent security. We rendezvous at Sigma Point and move through at H hour +2. Excuse me. Eagle Team is responsible for keeping the museum crowd under control. Yes, we know a nighttime mission would be easier, but the man upstairs wants broad daylight, so he'll get broad daylight. Falcon Team moves to Theta position. Raptor and Crane rotate and patrol between Chi, Epsilon, and Theta points. Cardinal Team sets up payload at Omega Point. Vulture Team delivers herrings to Chi, Epsilon, and Theta. Raptor and... that probably is supposed to say Key. Raptor and Crane, be ready to help them with lifting as we're on tight schedule. What the fuck was that? When Cardinal Team gives the yellow light, our personnel need to be ready to evacuate. Falcon, Raptor, and Crane use the tunnels. Eagle, Vulture, and Cardinal will switch to plainclothes and exit by the loading dock. Do not, under any circumstances, ditch your equipment thinking the blast will destroy the evidence. We're counting on the authorities to be able to analyze the slightest scrap of incinerated material, this Vulture team placing the bodies. Stow your gear with you and drop nothing. Minimum safe distance is half a click. We suggest you get even further away as there's going to be a lot of stone thrown out into the area. Ops team. The YouTube front page is full of movie reviews, music, and what kind changes, but right now it seems to be lo-fi, hip-hop, punk rock, some stuff about games, anime shit, and also people I don't know or care about, but at least the video is about something I have a slight interest in. So it sounds like YouTube's doing its job then. Whereas if you go to your Twitch homepage... Yeah, YouTube is also more willing to recommend more obscure content. This is also why I am totally willing to do a Sunrider playthrough on Twitch. Because if I get banned off Twitch, oh no, whatever will I do? I played every Star Wars PSP game. Like, I don't care, but... I would maybe watch that. You see? Fair enough, right?
Agent Thornton, you made it. Good. That makes things interesting. We have Madison. She's being held in the west wing of the museum. My men have orders to execute her.
That where your bombs are too?
No, the bombs are with me at the Crusades exhibit. You won't have time to reach both. Either way, someone dies.
You're right about that, Marburg. Why don't you stay put? I'll be right there.
Left or right, Thornton? Your choice. Madison, or coming after me and the bombs. There's not time for both.
Mike, Madison. She's in the wing to your left, but the bombs are in the wing to the right.
Which way should I go?
I don't know, Mike. You'll have to make the call. But I don't think Marburg is bluffing.
PSP and I like Star Wars. Hard pressed to find someone who doesn't get at least a small enjoyment from him. I am not a Star Wars fan. I think I've said that multiple times. I like, here's what I'll say. I've said this before, right? I enjoyed Expanded Universe for the most part, but then they got rid of Expanded Universe. Disney decanonized it. And I like A New Hope, but I don't like any other Star Wars movies. Like, not a single Star Wars movie outside of New Hope. Small enjoyment. Yeah, no, it's fair enough. Honestly, I liked Star Wars a lot more before Disney bought it. Straight up. I think Disney was better before Star Wars bought it. Like, the new movies are all terrible. I hear the Mandalorian show is good, but I don't care. I've lost all interest in. Like, episode 8 or whatever caused me to lose all interest in it. And not for the reason you think it did. What the fuck? I can't find it. That was an unlucky. I didn't know if I would get a second opportunity, so I'm glad I do, because I botched that hack. George Lucas' plan from, like, I don't know, the 80s to make 9 new movies, but burn him out was all the hate mail he got for the prequels. Yeah, he gave Disney, like, scripts for other movie ideas, and they just threw them right in the trash. And the thing about those latest 3 movies is that they specifically did not have a plan. They stated they didn't have a plan. Who decides to make a... Who in their right mind think... Like, they decided to make a trilogy because Star Wars is always in trilogy. So they're like, we'll make a trilogy. But they didn't plan the trilogy. Of course it failed. I guess if you want people to blame anyone, they could blame themselves. Jenkins, you're heading up to Vulture Team. Make sure all the Alcimon corpses are placed at the ops points indicated in the briefing. These points are calculated to be the right distance to char the bodies and foil a true cause of death autopsy, but still keep enough flesh intact for DNA screening. This could be difficult, but it needs to happen. The longer it takes authorities to find the evidence, the longer it takes for the operation to actually work its magic. Ops Team. You could literally, like, teach a class on filmmaking and use the new Star Wars trilogy as examples of what not to do when making a franchise. Like, it is actually that bad. Surprised you could find anything in that. Every time you do a hack, I have no clue what you're doing. Basically what you do is you have to find the code that is frozen, and you have 2 lines of code to match up, and you have to match up the line of code that is frozen. Like, you have to match up 2 lines of code with the frozen lines of code that are at the top. So it's like there'll be one code at the top right and one code at the top left, and you have to move them down to the frozen matching lines of code on the screen. And I'm usually pretty good at it, but, like, that time I was just like, I don't see anything right now. Like that. You do it like that.
Mike, get out of here. Marburg is...
It's over. Let her go.
Do as he says. Deus Vult. You brought it on her.
Please, just let me help her. There's still time.
The bullet went through her heart. Ironic when you think about it. I know you had feelings for her.
Killing her makes no sense.
It will. When you look back on this, it will. I'm impressed. You stayed focused, carried out your mission, disarmed the bombs, and left her for last. I didn't think you had it in you.
Is it a compliment? Spare me, considering your acts of bravery praised as an insult.
Very well. Your choice, the hostage or the bomb, was a spur-of-the-moment decision? Something left to chance, then?
No, I figured you were incompetent enough I could do both. The bombs were easy. Killing you? Now that'll be a cakewalk.
I've had just about enough of your arrogance.
No, arrogance is when you shoot a defenseless woman in the back and think it means you can take me out, too.
Did you really think this exhibit was worth protecting? I'm curious. Why did you choose the bomb?
It wasn't about the bomb or the people. I had a mission. I had to carry it out.
Of course.
Are you done? Because you're gonna answer for what you did to Madison.
Oh, the choices an agent in your line of work.
You actually can kill him in this scene. It's just very
The
hard.
choice of saving the innocent you know against the dozens, hundreds, even thousands of possible innocents. I wonder what Miss St. James would say about that. Are you ready to die?
Why do you steal all my lines?
Thought you...
All right, here we go.
Keep on struggling. I expected more from a self-appointed hero. You are disposable and obsolete.
Says the corporate tool who answers to Leyland.
I work for Halbeck. You're a man without a country, Thornton. You're me 20 years ago.
What's that in dog years?
Even if you escape, I know how your story ends.
Keep talking. Lets me know where to shoot.
It doesn't have to end like this. The authorities are on their way. You've won. The bombs are defused. There's nothing left for you to do here.
Except stop you.
From what? I failed. The authorities get here, they'll arrest us both. I'll be out in an hour. You will die in prison.
Guess I better kill you before they get here.
Enough of this.
Damn it, he's getting away.
There's nothing you can do now, Mike. Get out of there. There'll be another time.
And there never will be. Marburg and his men plan to attack the museum in Rome in the guise of Al-Samad, a terrorist setting off a bomb inside the museum and then escaping through the underground tunnels. Their goal was to blame the terrorist act on Al-Samad and create enough civil unrest for Halbeck to capitalize on the climate of fear generated by the attack. Agent Thornton chose to go after the bomb Marburg placed within the museum, disarming it. Thornton saved the museum and the lives of those in and around it, but condemned Madison to death at Marburg's hands. Agent Thornton and Marburg traded gunfire, but Marburg escaped during the fight. He'll likely resurface in the future, causing further problems and stopping Halbeck. I believe if you get him to hate you enough, you can actually kill him, but we didn't. And it wasn't really a goal of mine anyway.
So you chose Rome. I underestimated you. And so did Mr. Marburg, apparently. He said you had feelings for this woman.
I couldn't let the bombing happen.
I hope you don't blame me for her death. Marburg wanted you to save her. Not out of any emotional tie, mind you. For him, it was business.
Tragedy in the wake of the thwarted terror attack on the ruins of Karsule.
A shame,
A second attack
but you can't save everyone, Michael, can you? Oh, if I had been in your shoes,
Madison St. James
well,
was
I
killed
don't
in
know
a
what I
alleged
would have
terrorist
done.
escape attempt. Italian authorities have announced that a
If
full
you'd been in my
investigation
shoes,
into
you would have
the
been
attack
running
and
for the
St.
hills.
James' death is forthcoming.
So you tried to blow up a
International
museum,
reaction to
murder
the
innocent
strong.
people. I still don't see how that little stunt was supposed to help you unless you plan to corner the market on terrorism.
Italian military police, who
Really?
feared what could have been a much
That's
larger
because you
incident.
have
INN News has been unable to
very
locate Miss
narrow
James' family for
view
comment
of
at this
events.
time.
With someone obsessed with corporate profits over world stability, I'd say your narrow view trumps mine.
I can't expect you to keep up with every news report. I have an entire division devoted to it, plus my ace from the hole. The bombing was intended to reorganize terrorist legislation in the European Union.
So what? How does that benefit you?
The reorganization was to benefit Helbeck. Surveillance, airport screening tech, weapons. Mr. Marburg's little crusade in Rome was to remind Europe what fear is.
So you killed Madison for profit?
No, Mike, you did. You brought her into this mess. You had her take you to Marburg despite the risks, and then you failed to protect her. Blame me all you want, but step back and think about it. You must have thought about it. When it was all over, you were the big hero.
All right, let's try this tea I've had in the
When things were
refrigerator. It is just pitch black, by the way. This is a brown mid roast, and this is just pure black, by the way. Tea I've had in the refrigerator for a week.
Operator? Hello?
That's actually not bad.
People you care about will start.
That's actually pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know. It's basically just tea that's been stewing for a week. It came out well.
Mike. Is it odd seeing me in person?
What's odd is how you got here and how you got past the locks.
I set up this safe house, Mike. Getting the key wasn't too hard.
Right.
I came here because we're out of time. Taipei, Rome, Moscow. As far as the agency is concerned, they've been resolved to Halbeck's satisfaction.
So this is the final area, but there's really only one mission left.
But Halbeck's projections are...
So this is
So they don't
basically
know
the
they're
end of the
starting
game.
a war.
Not yet. First they'll delete Alpha Protocol and erase everything associated with it. And that means you.
Then I have to stop them. Alone. You've done enough.
No, Mike, I haven't. I could have done more. If Alpha Protocol is erased, then you're erased. Whatever life you had will be gone. You'll be rogue forever. Until someone finds you and kills you. And I can't let that happen to you.
It's not about me, Mina. It's about stopping them. What happens to me, it doesn't matter.
It does matter, Mike. If you hadn't arrived when you did... then
I
you
just
would have
noticed the
no
glasses
chance
he
to
wears
stop
while
it.
in this safe house is the
And
same
you kept
glasses
putting
he
yourself in
wears
danger
when
again
you
and
play
again.
as him in the opening of the game.
We're going to get through this.
Mike,
I mean it. We have to get through this. A lot of people are counting on us.
I know. It's always the mission, isn't it? If Halbeck isn't exposed, if Alpha Protocol isn't exposed,
Or both.
then they'll think they've won.
Until the war begins. Then everybody loses.
Why do you keep doing it, Mike? Is it because you want to see Halbeck answer for what it did? Or were you just following orders?
Mina, your whole life, your whole career has been in government. I mean, you are Alpha Protocol.
No, Mike, I'm not.
You're throwing away your entire career. Why?
Because I'm responsible for you, Mike. I'm the one who cut you loose. I knew they were going to kill you, so I did the only thing I could think of. I used Alpha Protocol for its intended purpose.
Why did you do it? Why did you make me rogue?
I read your dossier, Mike. You always try to do what's right, as long as you can act on your own. So I saved you from the missile and helped you go rogue. And I purposely cut you off from Westridge.
So who are you really working for?
I can't tell you, Mike. But they want to prevent what's about to happen. And seeing programs like Alpha
I believe
Protocol
she works for the
turned out to
NSA.
open so they can be shut down.
Even if they hurt
Or
United
the
States.
CIA.
Alpha Protocol
I
isn't
think the
the United
CIA,
States,
actually.
And if stopping Alpha
This is
Protocol
information we
comes along,
actually have already, I
it's
believe.
in the world's interests, not ours.
So, we have to save the world, while the whole world is out to get us. I have to love those odds.
It could be worse. Although I'm not sure how.
Hell yeah! I gotta romance every girl in the game.
Can't. You don't know what's going to happen.
Neither do you.
Mike, about Madison in Rome,
That's behind me.
That was like 5 minutes ago, Mina. I thought everyone was going nuts over the Dark Summoner.
I didn't mean to put you in danger. I didn't mean for any of this to happen.
I know you didn't. But the real problem would have happened whether you were here or not. Things would be a lot worse. Besides, I would probably be dead. I don't like that idea much.
Suppose you already have a plan.
Save the day? Somehow. But first I have to get back to the facility. Then take out the folks that trained me, along with any Marines, agents, or any other Halbeck thugs they've got with them. Get evidence on an international conspiracy, and prevent World War III.
Easy!
I guess I better get started.
We better get started.
No, you need to get to safety. I don't want you getting hurt. And I'd be surprised if Westridge and Parker haven't already figured out someone's been feeding me information. If so, your life is in danger.
I want to help. I can return to Alpha Protocol. I can still help you from the inside. I can't just throw you to the wolves.
If you're sure.
If I let anything happen to you now, I'd never forgive myself. Trust me, it's purely selfish.
Just be careful. I think we're only gonna get one shot at this.
This could be the last time we see each other.
Don't count on it. I'm not letting you off the hook that easy.
What are you going to do?
Call in a few favors. If
Dun, dun, dun!
They're in for a shock.
Her skin and hair are gray. Atlas's character name guide after that.
By the Scarpacci Group, a Rome-based political think tank.
You know what? At least it's not the same name as everyone else.
Upswing in terrorist activity in the past month. The assault on the United States Embassy in Moscow.
Madison's headband.
Sorry, Madison.
At least they're not repeating a name. Besides, all I'm gonna say is women with gray skin are pretty hot. I'm just saying. Gray skin ladies. Gray skin ladies get me wet. So far, none of the characters have a repeating name. Hell yeah, that's what I like to hear. Mr. Thornton, when we last spoke in person, I gave you my solemn promise that I would obtain further information in exchange for my life. I said we would meet again, and I promised that I would not hide, so I propose that we meet in person, on neutral ground. Then and there, I will divulge what I know. S. Omen Dang. Mr. Thornton, I will spare you any pleasantries. The Chinese secret police suspect there is an agency known as Alpha Protocol operated by American agents, but without the official public backing of the U.S. government. I say suspect because there is no confirmation. Attached is information I could find on the matter. No doubt you'll find this information to be of use. O.D. Stephen Heck. Mike, I have important news. I totally did it. 2 chicks at once. Hell yeah. What are you up to? My contact's been asking me for info on the big ol' Michael F. Thornton. What is your middle name, anyway? I got stoned off my ass and a Minotaur told me it was Finnegan, but I doubt the credibility of his argument. So yeah, I guess Russian, the Euros, the Chinese, ton of agents are looking out of a Thornton matching your ugly mug. Don't worry, it's me. We go way back. Remember that time I told you about the 2 chicks at once? Anyway, sounds like you've been a busy boy. Drop me a line sometime. Heck. And we are going to reply business question to Steven. Steven, congratulations on your conquest. I'm sure the ladies involved were of questionable breeding and refinement. Now, a matter of business. I owe my former employer a visit. It's likely to turn violent, which makes you a natural choice for backing me up on this mission. I don't know where this will take me, nor when, and I have to go there alone. I'll leave my instructions on my PDA and leave it behind for you to help in tracking my location. No doubt you'll be able to sneak/kill your way to wherever I'm headed, and we can meet up with me. If you can lend a hand, I'd greatly appreciate it. Thanks, M. Thornton. So for those are like cool summoner. Let's see. Ringo, Fig, Arrow, Milady, Sizo, Raven, Iron Mask, RS, Ash. Those are the cool summoner names. For all we know, there's another Makoto. Hell yeah! Get it to it! From Mina Tang. Hey Mike, I intercepted an internal memo sent to Leyland. Mr. Leyland, I've run the numbers and we're short on projections this quarter. Our stock price is rebounding, but we're unable to return last year's high. Investor confidence is dwindling, and we're in no position to report so much money has been taken out of our Western and Eastern general funds. I remain rather optimistic. We've created for ourselves a good deal of fertile soil in Russia, Italy, and Taiwan. Sure, we had a few threads unravel, but such is the cost of doing business. The EU is a small push away from Patriot Act-style panic. Moscow's underworld remains profitable, even if unstable, cash crop, and Sung incident has turned Taiwan into a wellspring of defense contracts. As per your request, I've moved the sum the sum you requested for your personal security entourage, though I regret to inform you that I could not fulfill some of the personal and hardware requests included in your missive. I apologize for the inconvenience. Kay Jacobson, Director of Special Projects, Halbach International. Albatross. Mr. Thornton, your name comes up with great regularity. In Italy, Russia, and Taiwan, agencies on both sides of the law are paying large sums of money for your information on your background and whereabouts. Congratulations on your 15 minutes of infamy. Watch your back, and you might just make a career out of this. This time, how about you contact me? Albatross. Scarlet Lake. Hello, Mike. Dropping you a line before the next shoot. You keep up with the news from Rome? Some kind of shootout occurred in one of the art museums. Some American citizens were killed. I'm on assignment in Rome quite a lot. Funny to think I could have been in the wrong place, wrong time victim. For some reason, I thought of you when I heard it, so just checking in. World keeps getting wound tighter and tighter, and I'm worried it's going to pop any day now. Alright, time to go. Looks like they're ready for the photographer. Talk to you later. Scarlet. From Mike Thornton to Mike Thornton. Dan, tell your bean counters to run the shipping losses. Twice. Once a loss, and again as a cost to replace. When our Moscow division unloads stolen merchandise to those Russian thugs, track down how much we make and send it to me. I'll make sure to explain the added revenue some other way. Make sure that our pirates are paid out of the Finnish branch, and make sure any employee we lose to this fake piracy gets twice the usual death benefits. Last thing we need is some private investigator finding out we're stealing our own goods at a loss. Let's see. Milady, I want to know, what is your real name? Makoto. Wow, really? No shit. My name is Makoto too. Small world, Arrow. Let's see. Everyone's Makoto. Contact Shahid. I'm just going to send this over to Scarlet, whatever. Hello, Miss Lake. Did you know pirates are still out nabbing cargo in the high seas? Thought that whole fad ended a few hundred years ago. Well, it seems Halbech is pirating its own ships, writing off the losses, funneling the stolen goods through black market channels, and then hiding the profits from selling the goods that went missing. Sure, you could write a good article about this. One that maybe uses less scare quotes than I just did. M. Thornton. Mike, intercepted this email. Thought you'd like to see it. Mina. An addendum to my report. I don't think the operation is unsalvageable. I remain confident that we could attempt the same scenario in any number of cities in Europe. While I realize time, manpower, and money will need to be reinvested, the game plan itself is not spoiled. The false flag could still be run up with a pole, and the public would be none the wise. While Agent Thornton, I'm still trying to pin down his real name. Is that not my real name? I like to think that's my real name, was indeed a compromising factor to this mission. He's in no mission to go to the authorities or the media. They'd sooner turn over to the U.S. State Department than believe a word he has to say. With that said, I would only recommend a restart of the operation after Thornton is neutralized. He's a capable agent, skilled, professional, and not so easily swayed by his emotions. I would almost recommend we try to recruit him as one of our own if it were not for the events of Rome, no doubt spoiling any goodwill he might have had for our organization. C. I love a man who makes me laugh. I'm suddenly become French, even though I was supposed to be Russian. I didn't even fully commit to the French either. And you, my dear, made me laugh all morning long. You see, I checked my work email and found an email entitled Operation Jolly Roger Debrief when I read about how one little American agent foiled Marburg's assignment, an assignment that cost the company millions of dollars and required 100 of personnel working across 3 continents. I got all weak in my knees with laughter. I think I should send Conrad a sorry for your incompetent old man card. See? Even the names you think would be the names of only one character have another character with a name, like Chie. Turns out there's some obscure Mega 10 manga where the main character was a girl named Chie. Every time this comes up, I'm reminded that Fire Emblem has only repeated 3 names. Wait, what does this do? This increases strike resistance? Why am I not taking this? Alright. Mission 1. Contact Sheikh al-Shahid. Meet with Sheikh al-Shahid, determine what else he knows concerning Halbech and the missiles, then either enlist his aid or finish your mission in Saudi Arabia by eliminating him and his men. There's this ad for a message for a vibrating showerhead on TV. Why? I'm gonna be super honest. There is only one reason I can imagine why you would want your shower head to vibrate. That's for masturbation, right? That is the only reason I can think of why you would want that. I can think of 0 other reasons that would ever come into play.
Welcome, Agent Thornton. This is the meeting I spoke of long ago in Saudi Arabia, I believe. I have much to share with you.
Is it about Halbech?
A portion of it is, yes. The rest concerns its partner, your Alpha Protocol program. But that will cost you.
I don't have much more to give, Shahid. And I did spare your life before.
You know as well as I do. These events that Halbech has set in motion, they are not well researched. They are conflicts. And then there are wars. What they have started, it is a fire that will sweep the globe.
And that concerns you?
When these events will make my country suffer more than it deserves? Yes. And when another may shoulder the rightful blame? Again, yes.
Rightful blame.
Indeed. Are you prepared to betray your own country, Agent Thornton? When I speak of blame, it is the United States that is the one responsible for these events.
I've come this far, and I'm already acting against its best intentions, apparently.
And you have no doubts on this?
As soon as they conspired with Halbech, they ceased being the government I'm fighting for.
Even though you once owed them allegiance?
My duty isn't to them. My duty is to make sure no one uses other nations as a playground for their financial or religious agendas, especially if people get killed because of it.
I see. You are an admirable man, Agent Thornton. I misjudged you when we first met.
I don't think so. And after this, we're through. So if you're thinking of replacing Halbech and causing more trouble, I'll track you down, with or without Alpha Protocol.
Very well. You should know the Alpha Protocol you are under. It is designed for such abuse, and you are a victim of it.
I know, but I walked into it, and it's my job to fix it.
I see. But you have come for help, or simply to call a favor due. I have information that should be of use to you in hurting Halbech. Accounts, transactions, and knowledge of their involvement with your program. And of course, the missile codes you asked for. Although I fail to see what use they are to you.
That's a start.
A start?
Yes. I need you to broadcast something for me. I have a suspicion that's going to cause quite a stir where I'm headed.
Agent Thornton contacted Sheikh al-Shahid for information to bring back Halbech. Shahid reiterated the events set in motion are more dangerous than Halbech knows. Rather than raise global tensions, their actions will trigger a real-world war. Thornton agreed to use Shahid's information to bring down Halbech and Alpha Protocol. So, it does seem out of character for how we've been playing Thornton, that he would suddenly agree to betray the country just in order to enlist the help of Shahid. However, That is mostly because I didn't have full control over the options that Thornton says, and in reality, our main goal has always been to protect the world and prevent World War III, and a lot less of necessarily serving American interests. Hey, Mike, weird I thought pirates just existed in history books and bad porn. Shows know what I know. Yeah, that's definitely a story in there. I'll get cracking on it, see if I can get my editor get it printed in the States and Europe. Scarlet Lake. Stephen Heck. F yeah, this is an automated reply. You've reached Stephen Heck, Esquire. I am currently doing things of extreme importance and I'm unlikely to check my email in the near future. Don't despair, I have a large quantity of narcotics hidden in my anus in case I'm buried alive. Heck. This art style, so generic, wouldn't even know it was SMT if I wasn't told. So Jima and Kaneko have never been missed more. That's from the comments on a Soul Hackers article. I don't know, I don't think you see super, like, neon styled, I don't... You don't really see a lot of games with like a sort of like hyper neon design period, let alone in JRPGs. So I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Remember when Sojima was shit on for his generic anime art? Alright, next up we're going to contract Albatross. Contract Albatross, see if you can enlist his assistance.
Guess the old man gave me a false number.
Communications decrypted. Signal established.
Albatross. Your signal's weak. I can barely see you.
Agent Thornton, Mike, my apologies for the poor connection. It's the price one pays for privacy. I can only spare a few minutes, so tell me what you need, quickly.
I'm infiltrating the Alpha Protocol facility, and I need your help.
I see. This is sooner than I expected. If you think I know the location of the facility, I can't help you.
I can get there. What I need is whatever intel or manpower you can provide once I'm inside.
If you can get in and transmit the location. But once you transmit the coordinates, you'll need to buy yourself some time before I can intervene. May I ask why you're infiltrating the agency? It seems counterproductive, not to mention the low chance of success.
I have to do this, and I have to find out the truth of what's going on there. I can pay you for your help, Albatross.
You don't need to pay me, Mike. An alliance with you and your continued survival has proven to
Cyber
be my
Sleuth,
best
Scarlet
interest.
Nexus, and Elsalman Styles.
Mercy,
Yeah, but most of those are pretty
I've not forgotten.
unique, I would say, as far as games go.
Now it is my turn to help.
I mean, like,
You're not getting
to be fair, like, Hyper Neon is Digimon's whole aesthetic.
One doesn't kill the golden goose.
Or an albatross. Seems doing both would be unwise.
I would agree. Once you reach your destination.
Also, correct me if I'm wrong, Scarlet Nexus doesn't look anything like...
Enjoy your flight. I'll see you soon.
Doesn't Scarlet Nexus look literally nothing like the Soul Hackers trailers? Let me look up Scarlet Nexus. I don't know if that's true. Is that even true? Does Scarlet Nexus even look like that? Scarlet Nexus looks a lot more like Code Vein than it does. In fact, I remember when Scarlet Nexus was first announced, people were calling it Code Vein 2. Like, it uses a heavy amounts of, like, bolds and reds, but it also uses a lot of muted, like, coloration. Here, I'll put this up on stream. Like, look at it's like a lot of like blacks and muted reds. Like there's some neo like futurism design element to it, but it doesn't, like, if you compare that to like Soul Hackers 2, the two games don't look anything alike. Like, look at this right here. Like, we have like destroyed sort of like urban environment. That's hardly like neon futurism. that you see in Soul Hackers. I'm starting to think SMT fans don't play non-Mega 10 RPGs. They think everyone's problem is it isn't 90s cyberpunk, it's modern cyberpunk. Wow, no shit, it isn't 90s cyberpunk. Yeah, no, this looks literally nothing like Scarlet Nexus. Like, unless we're calling like bold color choice. No, honestly, I can't even say Scarlet Nexus has a bold color choice. It just uses reds and oranges. It has a very it has a very like warm color palette. It's the opposite of the bold neon colors used in Soul Hackers 2. No, Soul Hackers 2. Yeah, no, look, that looks nothing like Scarlet Nexus. Yeah, see, Scarlet Nexus used a lot of, like, reds. You can look at this cast of characters right here and see that they all have their own color palette, even. Which is, one, a basic principle of character design, and probably tells you that the character designers for Soul Hackers 2 are actually better than the character designers for Scarlet Nexus. But whatever, shut up, don't worry about it. The main point that I'm trying to make is that these games don't look anything alike. Yeah, I mean, you see this, like, heavy digital background. Now, Cyber Sleuth, I'll concede, but that's Digimon's whole aesthetic. Digimon has had that aesthetic since the 90s. So, another is when Soul Hackers 1 came out in 2013, Soul Hackers was viewed as, oh, cool, how retro, but people seem to forget Soul Hackers came out in 97. I also think a lot of these people didn't finish Soul Hackers. Like, people say, where's Nemissa? Yeah, if you beat the game, you'd know why Nemissa isn't too. But set characters with unique colors is a Persona thing? Oh, no, it's a basic tenet of character design. Like, any good game will have that, is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it's hardly unique to Soul Hackers 2. But if you look at Scarlet Nexus, everyone's just wearing blacks and reds. Like, it all just fades into itself. Like, you could probably pick, I don't know, Dragon Quest or some shit, right? See? Look at that. Dragon Quest. Everyone has their own primary color. None of these fuckers look anything like any of these other fuckers. Like, it's not like a Persona thing or a... It's just, like, basic character design. It's a joke. That's what people say. Oh! Oh, that's a thing people say? That's what they said when Apocalypse came out? Holy shit. That's just stupid. What was the last one? Alsomanin? Never mind, SMT4, they wore a uniform that still had unique aspects. Yeah, no, I mean, even if the uniform is all the same, they all have their own different colored handkerchief. It's a basic design principle. You have to make your cast visually distinct from each other. It's simple. Alsomanim, I'm not... Cyber Sleuth, I'm confident, has the same aesthetic. But again... Digimon kind of beat the game to that. Wow, that is... Okay, I could maybe see it. It's a little more urban, I think. But I could definitely see... I could see this one a lot more than I could see Scarlet Nexus. Scarlet Nexus looks absolutely nothing like it, but this... See, this is a nice modern area, nice lights, bolder colors. Okay, yeah, this one passes the test. This one has a similar aesthetic. It's apparently super fucking brutal, though. Yeah, okay, alright. I'll give this one a pass. I wouldn't say this looks like neon neo. Do I mean neo futurist? I keep trying to say neo futurist. I definitely mean neon, but do I mean neo futurist? I do. I do mean neo futurist. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say this has a full. Oh no, yeah, all right. You know what? Fair enough. But that's like two examples. Like I would, when you say something's generic, the implication is that it's like industry standard. Did I remember to unmute this game? Okay, I did. And it's super not. Like, yeah, like I said, I think the only way to make an RPG that looks generic is just, like, straight fantasy, no other flavors to it, which you very rarely see anymore. Excuse me. Contact Scarlet Lake. You received the call from Scarlet Lake. Meet up with her, see what she wants, and pass along evidence of Halbeck's involvement to her for safekeeping.
Scarlet?
Come in, Mike.
Your door was open. You don't seem surprised. How did you know it was me?
I would have known if it wasn't you. Footsteps are like signatures.
That's an interesting skill to have picked up.
In case you haven't guessed already, I don't have much of a social life. What is it you needed, Mike? Got another story to pass along?
Something wrong? If so, maybe I can help.
Wrong? I don't know, Mike. You seem to be a complicated person. Very little about you seems simple. I was pretty certain you might be Interpol or military, but my gut tells me intelligence. But none of my contacts have heard of you.
Contacts? So you've been checking up on me?
I didn't want to, but you really don't leave me much choice if I want to know the truth.
If I was intelligence, is that something you think I'd tell a journalist?
You tell me. And I'd like you to be honest with me, if you can. I think I deserve that much.
There's not much to say. I used to work for the United States government. I still do, in my own way.
What do you mean?
I'm not exactly welcome back home. When you met me in Saudi Arabia, that was my last official mission with the US. After that, I've been on my own. Except for people I've met on the way. Like you.
It doesn't sound like you've had a chance to relax in Saudi Arabia.
That's an understatement.
My military and intelligence contacts didn't have much on you.
Not surprising.
So, I checked the corporate gossip. Halbeck's taken quite an interest in you.
Let's just say Leyland and I don't see eye to eye on business practices. You ever met him?
At press conferences? Quite the snake. But that doesn't explain why Halbeck would be after you.
I accidentally discovered something in Saudi Arabia I shouldn't have. Something that could ruin Halbeck.
What did you find out?
I found they'd been selling weapons to Al Samad, and I got proof.
Is that why you're here?
I don't trust anyone else with it. And if something happens to me, then the world needs to know.
It's that bad, huh?
Pretty bad.
I'll make sure it gets where it needs to go. Are you going to be all right?
I have no idea.
Do you need to leave right now?
No, I can stay. For a little while if you need me to.
Considering I might not see you again, I'd like that.
The world can wait then.
Hell yeah! Best girl Scarlet! And, okay, hold on. Can I address something? I'm gonna get political here for a second. Because there's this like stereotype that like if a guy scores with a bunch of chicks, he's like cool, but if a lady does it, she's a slut. Here's the deal, right? Here's the deal. If I was playing as a lady and I was scoring with like 800 dudes, I would still be giving my lady character the props. Like, if it was like Michelle Thornton and she was scoring this much, I'd be like, yeah, Michelle, get it. But also, I'm going to put it out there, right? Because there's like this like stereotype that like people get together and like people are like men get together and then talk about all the women they're banging and they're like, man, you're so cool, you're banging all these ladies. Like, if your guy friend is talking about all these ladies he's banging and just talking about them like they're like just straight up like pieces of meat, he's still a piece of shit, right? Like the gender doesn't matter in the scenario. Like, there's nothing wrong with being like sexually active and having a lot of sex and all that. Like, that's fine and all. But if you're gonna be a dickhead about it, male, female, doesn't fucking matter. All right, I'm putting that out there right now. Reverse harems rock. Yeah, no, I mean, like, if I was Michelle Thornton and I just banged like a hot redheaded fucking dude, I'd be like, fuck yeah, Michelle, get it, girl. Get it. You deserve it. You're a super spy. Boom, secret agent. Bam. I don't know. I'm just putting that out there. I'm addressing a complaint that no one made against me. Fuck. I feel like I need to get ahead of these things because I lean moderate, so it's like you never know what crazy bullshit I'm gonna say next. But not that I ever get in trouble for anything, but I feel like it's I feel like the point of streaming is to put your opinions out there anyway, so I might as well, double down on that shit. Reverse harems rock, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. As added insurance, before surrendering himself to Alpha Pro... I can speak English and read. Shut up. You can't. You don't know what I'm going to say. As added insurance, before surrendering himself to Alpha Protocol, Agent Thornton contacted Scarlet Lake and agreed to provide her with information damaging Hellvac. Meeting her at the hotel room, Scarlet and Thornton exchanged information. Agent Thornton spent the night in Scarlet's hotel room before surrendering himself to Alpha Protocol. Details of what happened that night were not forthcoming from either Scarlet or Agent Thornton. Wink. I like Scarlet as a character, by the way. Scarlet's a badass. She's like the Lois Lane of this game. If Lois Lane was also an assassin. I have 4 points to put in nothing. So, assault rifles it is. Oh, I can't afford that. I have 4 points to put in nothing. Alright, let's see at least generic character anime art. I wouldn't have even thought it was SMT unless I was told. Page can't be found. You can't link a Discord app image like that. Is it in real Discord? Nope. Alright. Alright. So... it was a joke with the Soul Hackers 1 characters. Oh, I gotcha. Well, was anyone blaming Soul Hackers 1 of being generic? I thought it was Soul Hackers 2 that was being called generic. Should I go military uniform, or... Look, they ain't gonna be no stealth, alright? I'm gonna go off like a bull in a china shop right now. Should note, Kaneko did do Soul Hackers 1 art, but it was terrible. I was joking you could say the same at Soul Hackers 1 characters compared to, like, Nocturne's art. Oh, okay. What do we think of that? Endurance 95, damage reduction 20. But what if we go to Advanced Combat Armor? That's 90-20. Yeah, 95-20. Okay, so actually utility armor is the best armor in the game. I did not know that. This is information to me I've never had before. I should actually make a note that utility armor is the best armor. Alright, let's change out our guns. No, I'd rather damage. Ooh. There we go, the UC Commissar. Barrel, Silencer Mark III. Perfect. I actually would rather accuracy and stability with this gun to damage. Because I want to keep it consistent. How much would you pay for an Alpha Protocol remake? I don't think Alpha Protocol needs a remake. I mean, it's definitely rough around the edges, but I don't think it needs a full-on remake. I would actually be more interested in an Alpha Protocol sequel, which will never exist ever. But I think I would be more interested in an Alpha Protocol sequel. I think there's a lot you could do with that. Because there's still, like, plot threads that this game leaves hanging, like, assuming Conrad Marburg is alive, or, for the very minimum, there's whatever the hell is going on with Stephen Heck. Alright, get ready for this. This is one of the greatest additions to any gun ever. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I didn't really get... Oh, man. The image just shows it, like, taped together. I thought it was this game, though, where that was in, but maybe it was... I'm thinking of a different game. Yeah, people have this, like, weird obsession with remakes. Like, get back to me in, like, 10 years, maybe we'll talk about Alpha Protocol remake. But honestly, I don't think it needs a remake. I also don't think that Saints Row needs a reboot. I don't think it was that long ago since the last Saints Row came out. I really do think you could just release Saints Row 5 right now, and no one would bat an eyeball at it. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and go to the bathroom, because this is the last... This is the last mission. This is it. We're at the end of the game. This is it. We're at the end. So, gonna go ahead and go to the bathroom, so I don't have to do it in the middle of the mission. See you in a second. Oh, my earballs hurt. Oh, my ears. My ears hurt. It's the glasses plus the headphones. One or the other, I don't even think would be that bad. Oh, okay. What's going on? Let's do it. End game. Surrender to Sean Darcy, allowing yourself to be captured by Alpha Protocol so they can take you to the Grey Box. From there, you'll be on your own, so make sure you've settled all your affairs before you give yourself up. This is your last chance as a free man to take action. Hold on, let me make sure that my, Okay, I wanted to make sure my email was done. Infiltrate Alpha Protocol. Let's go. Okay. So obviously Stephen Heck is my favorite. Albatross is pretty cool, but we're actually going to go with Z. Why are we going to go for Z? Reasons.
Did you take care of what you had to do?
Everything's in place. How about you?
It shouldn't be much longer.
Are you safe?
Probably safer than you.
Renma one half the first harem manga? Probably not.
Goodbye, Mina. Mind if I sit here?
Go ahead. You'll save me from having to call in the squad. All them running?
Never was.
Yeah, well, whatever you call it, I'm here to bring you in. Glad you're not making a fuss about this.
I called you, remember?
Infiltrate Alpha Protocol facility and complete your mission. It's going to take all your skill and probably a lot of firepower. World War III is the cost if you don't succeed. You've allied with Z, who is oddly enough seems like she'll meet you at the location. Rendezvous with her as soon as possible. Omen Dang and Ronald Sung have set up a server or waiting for you to transfer intel to quickly pass on the government officials in their area. Ensure they receive evidence damaging the U.S. only. Google claims it's Tenshi? No, it's not Tenshi. Here, let's go to Mal real quick. When did Renma come out? Am I misspelling Renma? Oh, it's Ronma. 1987. Not that I think these are older, but it's worth checking. 98. 94. Yeah, that's what I thought. Let's see. I think I want to reverse this actually. Let's see. According to Mal, the earliest on record was something called Fusake. By, you guessed it, Osamu Tezuka. Yeah, it tracks. Also, Hanpa Bazooka by Go Nagai, which is 79 and 69 respectively. This is a collection of short stories, so I'm not necessarily certain if I would call Fusake a harem manga per se, even if it has harem elements, because it's a collection of short stories. So, at very least, the oldest harem on record is Hanpei Bazooka by Go Nagai, which, yeah, I mean, that's fair. That seems like someone who would have made the oldest harem. Then, Otome Ningen, which was 82, apparently. Then Renma. So there you go. History of harem.
So, here we are, Agent Thornton.
Guess you can go home again.
If by home you mean prison. Mr. Westridge first spoke to you in this room, didn't he?
Interrogated, actually. It was a really dull conversation.
When he asked you why you volunteered for Alpha Protocol, do you remember what you told him?
It was my duty. I wanted to serve my country.
I want to serve my country. And you think by being assigned here is the best way to do that?
Give me a mission and I'll prove it.
Does it feel good being a patriot now, Mike? Looking back, everything you did for your country, was it worth it? Because they're not going to do a damn thing for you. They left you out to
Yeah,
dry.
Go Nagai is often underappreciated for his influence on the industry. He's definitely one of the most influential mangaka of all time.
Recorded for posterity. I wanted to make sure it's captured perfectly.
Do you know what I like most about our relationship, Henry? It's these special moments, you and I, talking about the world. It's really cozy. So
Which I guess has nothing to do with a woman who was who fought crime with just gloves and a mask on, but it is worth noting.
Now and get this beautiful wave.
Go Nagai didn't give a fuck. No, he did not.
Seems
I'm not done.
Which you can respect.
What I'm gonna remember most is how you thought you had it all under control before this little plane
Remember this.
crashing down.
Remember this line.
all right, Thornton. I think you misunderstand me. You see, I'm not here to gloat. I'm here to offer you a deal.
I'm not giving up the film footage. See,
I don't care, Mike. That's a separate appointment in my calendar. Right now, we're discussing you and Helbeck.
what are you talking about?
If you stay here, it isn't going to turn out well for you. The best you could have hoped for was to be captured by Alpha Protocol. Then they can erase you quietly. To me, that seems like a waste of talent.
Really?
Really? Do you know why I used you in the first place?
I'm all ears.
Because I recognize an asset when I see it. That is the reason Helbeck is where it is today, and why our numbers are so high. It's also why Mr. Marburg chose to work for me. It's because I recognize value, and I reward loyalty.
You're offering me a job.
Mike, you already work for me.
Man, we're getting an offer from the evil villain to join his side. Whatever are we gonna say to
What makes you
this?
think I'd even consider that?
Because you can't go back. You found out too much. You know where all the embarrassing little connections are. That makes you a good agent, but a rather large liability. Me, I have a different perspective on the situation. I know what you did needed to be done to achieve results. It's a rare quality to find someone willing to think outside the box.
I still haven't heard your terms yet. And it sounds like you've made this offer before.
This was the same talk Marburg and I had a long time ago, although I didn't know his agency connection when I hired him. You're a special case. I was able to recruit right from the source. So, a few things. One, you're going to be executed at worst, or at best, spend life in a CIA prison in Eastern Europe. Two, this will be the last conversation you will have with another human being. And three, it really wasn't my fault that this whole situation happened, but I think you already recognize that.
I'm listening.
Mike, your government needed my contracts. They hired me to build this place, and worst of all, they created you.
Worst of all?
Yes, because when they create programs like this, there's no accountability. And when people never have to answer for the things they do...
People need to be protected. Sometimes it's necessary.
No, it's not. You're sitting in a cell because of it. Your life over. Because of something they did, they'll never have to answer for. I can fix that. We can fix that.
How?
Make them accountable. I don't need Alpha Protocol anymore. It's going to be shut down, sanitized. But if selected footage reached the world about its presence, well, that might be the best for all parties.
What? So you can make new hostilities, drive up sales?
My role in this is already protected. You got my missiles back. Shahid is dead, and all your operations in Taipei, Moscow, Rome, it didn't change anything. I can give you freedom, a new lease on life, even a villa of your choosing anywhere in the world. All I need is your cooperation. So, is it a deal or not? A future or no future at all?
So, I say yes. Now what happens?
Any moment, soldiers are going to come through that door and take you back to the medical bay you started this whole business in. Me, they could care less about, as long as I'm still around to negotiate with senators and forget I ever saw anything here.
So all I need to do is escape, and then what?
You have friends as well as enemies. One will contact you soon enough, I imagine. You're resourceful that way. You won't have much time until they sanitize this facility and destroy all the...
That's right, I joined the bad guys. You didn't see that coming.
I doubt the staff will allow you to reach it.
So you want me to expose this place?
Yes, I have a vested interest in seeing this program be dragged out into the light.
All right.
There is one other thing. Miss Tang, Mina, the one who helped you, I'm afraid she'll have to be killed.
She's here?
Yes, we were able to intercept her before she left. She put up quite a fight, but unfortunately she was captured. So now that needs to be corrected. I'm asking you to do it.
Why?
If you need a reason, speak to her. You'll understand why after the conversation.
I doubt it.
We'll see. Are you ready, Mike? The grand finale's about to begin. Once the soldiers come through that door, it's going to be you against the world.
You know, I don't like you much.
This, Mike, is business, and I really don't care. For the record, I think you're a pain in the ass, but I prefer to see results and not let emotions bleed into it.
Let's get this started then.
That man just clipped straight through a wall.
Don't. I'll make it quick.
Agent Thornton, allowing yourself to be captured, making us go through the effort of bringing you here. Well done.
I don't like to brag.
You have little to boast about, even if you were so inclined. Well, I confess I'm disappointed things ended like this. I was hoping to convince you to work for us. If not Outback, then the VCI. But that would depend on you.
I'm surprised you haven't figured it out yet, Marburg. I know your history. I know the United States left you out to dry. Deus Vult, all of it. But it doesn't seem like you learned anything from it. You served Deus Vult blindly, and now you're answering to Leyland and Halbeck.
Your point?
Trading one master for another, Marburg? Seems to me blind loyalty is what got you here in the first place. Everything you know about Leyland should tell you what your future is.
I don't expect I'll see you again, Agent Thornton. Your mission ends here.
Aw, yeah.
Doc will be along in just a bit to administer your meds. Nice knowing you, Thornton.
Michael, darling. I was wondering why you were tied up, although I had not expected the reason to be so literal.
Z, good to see you. You'll have to excuse me if
Why
I
did
get
you
up.
join the villain? Oh, this is a bad guy playthrough the whole time. You didn't know?
Michael, I am sure. It is good you have time to rest with all this trouble going on. This bed, this is how you woke up?
I thought that was obvious from all of the heroic stuff I was doing.
First time, and I'm not doped up.
The restraints?
And how I refused to kill anyone the entire game.
Enough with the small talk.
Obviously, this was an evil playthrough.
I am here because I never got the chance to tell you my feelings. And now you have no choice but to listen.
Great.
Why, Michael, I never thanked you. Humiliating Conrad like that. A girl dreams of such things.
By the way, this game has multiple endings. I don't know if that was obvious. It has quite a lot of them, honestly.
Quite yet, I think.
Well, okay, I guess technically it has one ending in a various in various ways that it can be portrayed, but it functions as multiple endings. Like, your choices recontextualize the ending, basically.
Specimen restrained like this. I am tempted to set you free.
I wouldn't want to get in the way of temptation, though I'm a little curious as to why.
I do not like Marburg, and he has paid me already. I am free to leave, but you are not. It is not fair. So, I will let you go in a moment.
Oh no.
Oh yes. Relax, darling, but not too much.
Oh yeah! Get it, boy. I cannot think of a less opportune time to do this.
You would if I wasn't.
The building will explode.
Good. Now, no more talking.
And that is why we chose Z.
Okay. Holy. Now, can you let me go?
Mm-hmm. Michael, I unlocked your wrists 5 minutes ago. You were too busy holding onto your bed to notice. I am flattered. I have done what I must do. Now, you must go do what you must do.
Hell yeah.
I said for experience. Wonder if the camera was recording.
What the hell is going on in there?
You look naked without your weapons. They are in the locker nearby. Get dressed.
Alright. Now we're gonna go off like a bomb.
Monitoring center and get access to the system and all its secrets.
You did not just do that in my medical bay. Bet it smells like cat piss and tuna in there. You're not getting far. I'll be watching you.
I saw something.
Boop. I don't really care that the alarm is going off. So at this point, there's no reason to keep collecting dossier information. I think it might give you minor stat boosts, but functionally, it's just, I think, in case you missed getting the, like, preparedness perks from before. There's super no reason for money, though. You know what else actually would be a good addition to this game, however, is a New Game Plus. Like a genuine New Game Plus would be really good.
This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill.
Damn, which one?
Last chance, guys. Back up your files.
Agent? Or is it just Mike Thornton now, with the rank stripped away? Never understood why we had titles anyway. Meaningless. I don't understand why you wanted to speak to me. If you think I can help you, you're wrong.
We'll see. I think you'll want to hear what I have to say. Parker, the plan you arranged with Halbeck, it's not going to work.
Really? Doubtful. I thought there was a chance you might return. You are resourceful, even for a rogue agent.
Well, I have you all to thank for being rogue, don't I? I thought it would just be a cover, but you made it real.
If you blame me for this, then you're in error. Miss Tang is to blame.
I know what Mina did, but you were the one who ordered the missile strike on my location.
Yes, but that was not my order. I would have preferred you return here, where you could be monitored. As you can see, letting you run around is dangerous. And, well, despite your flaws, you are a valuable resource. Now, what do you want? There's little I can do for you, so make it quick.
You're betraying your own country, Parker. Whatever you think you're doing, it's wrong.
No, my country has authorized this, Mike. Although no one will ever know. If you think to appeal to
I kind of am super not into video game idle animations because they ruin scenes like this.
Had to be protected because it's our national interests.
So that makes Leyland in charge now of an entire branch of a U.S. agency?
No. We were ordered to assist him in recovering his missiles, in assassinating Shahid, and then killing you. He was given access to the facility and our resources.
But why?
Why did we cooperate? There's no reason to ask why.
You can't tell me that you didn't suspect something was wrong.
Nothing was wrong, Thornton. As I said, Halbeck had proper authorization. They asked permission, and they got it.
And Westridge didn't object?
No, because like me, he follows orders. We were asked to get an agent to do Leyland's job and to contract me for my services.
Services? What services?
I was asked to isolate events in the world and create triggers. While many of these triggers would benefit Halbeck, a great deal would benefit the United States. China grows more powerful by the day. They are Halbeck customers as well. And if they are reliant on Halbeck technology, they are reliant on us. Even better, if they can be lured into action in Taiwan, well, then it buys us time to build strength.
And Moscow? Rome?
Rome was a reminder to the rest of Europe. Moscow, a necessary distribution center.
And the people on the airliner in the Middle East?
Those deaths, they are nothing compared to the death toll that would follow if these steps were not taken.
You're nuts, Parker. You think your hypotheticals are better than the reality?
I wouldn't expect you to understand, Thornton. But yes, the government asked me to design scenarios to promote America's position in the world, and to strengthen Halbeck as well. It was the most interesting assignment I've had in years. To use my analytical skills for something besides system maintenance or compiling budget reports. For a project of my own. So yes, I accepted the assignment. And I did what I do best. Analyzed.
Provided you had all the information.
So you could also point out in this scene that Madison is actually Parker's daughter.
You didn't.
Parker, yes, the one that died in this stream.
I didn't kill him in Saudi Arabia. That missile never hit him. They'll be broadcasting in an hour. What you said about Moscow, that distribution center is shut down, and I found the real source there. Surkov's now working for me, and he has all the evidence I need to bring this place down. Taipei, the op you had there, where I ran into Omen, he's still alive, and he didn't appreciate being used any more than I did. They'll be pitching in too, along with the rest of China.
I know you well enough, Agent. I assume you have proof of this.
You're a logical guy, Parker. With what I told you, how do you think this is going to play out? Your mistake's not going to look good on a field report or the nightly news. But it doesn't have to be your mistake.
I take it you have a plan?
Yeah, you've been drafted, so you better start making yourself useful right now.
Let's move it. There he is.
Hell yeah! And that's why we were a pacifist the entire game. Actually, the reason we were a pacifist the entire game is because my primary method of fighting in this game involves punching people into the face, and it just so happens to be non-lethal. But that's also why we were a pacifist in this game. The game wasn't frozen. I thought it was frozen. No, it's even running on my stream, so that's just on your side. What? What? I mean, everything in that scene looked all still. Oh, well, we were just standing around talking, to be fair. Click. 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 Click.
Scarlet?
Mike, what are you doing here?
I could ask you that same question. Did they hurt you?
No. They asked me a lot of questions, but I think they were mostly interested in finding out what I knew about you.
What did you tell them?
Not much. I think I learned more about you from them than anything you ever told me. Mike, there's something I have to tell you.
Can it wait? We have to get out of here without getting killed.
Mike, it's about what happened in Taipei, about Sung. There was a reason I was there. I was the shooter.
What? Why are you telling me this?
We actually theoretically already knew this. I think we have a mention of that in our dossier.
I'm glad you told me.
What are you going to do?
You mean, what are we gonna do? I need your help if I'm gonna get out of here. I also need that footage. And failing that, your testimony. No way am I leaving you here. I don't think Leyland intends to pay you, and Alpha Protocol's not gonna be nice to you either. And if you're as good as I think you are, having one of the world's best assassins on my side could even the odds.
All right, Mike. You've got my attention. I'll get the footage and meet up with you. You know, Mike, in the hotel, I wanted to tell you then,
We can talk about it later, after we're both safely out of here.
I'll get the footage and meet up.
Hell yeah! Swagger walk out of there. Nope, that was the door I came from. That door is nothing. And here we go. Oh! That just popped off. Ow, 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 ow. Boop. Hold up. Check this out. And that's how you do that. Yeah, I can actually see why this game didn't catch on, though, because the combat is kind of clunky, and there is a lot of dialogue, and we all know how much the average gamer hates paying attention to anything for more than 5 seconds. Wait. Oh. I thought I could go through that door. I mean, it's green. I'm actually shocked I can't go through that door. I never want to work in a video game store. Okay. I'm interested. Why not? I mean, I wouldn't want to work in a video game store either, quite honestly, but... the only one I know of is GameStop, and from everything I've heard, it's absolutely terrible.
Really could use a hand here. These guys are killing my story.
You made it out, I see.
There we go. Could deal with annoying anime fans or comic book fans or music snobs that cannot deal with gamers.
Miss Tang, she'll need to be dealt with.
Oh, customers are the worst anyway.
If we let her live, shutting down Alpha Protocol won't matter. We'll soon have other problems.
Alright, should be this door right here.
Is this your way of making me say I need your help? Because I do. These guys are all over me.
So this one's kind of fun because you have to go back through the shooting range where you first met Mina. Which I think is clever. Gamers are super annoying. Like when I say gamers, I mean self-identified weird label badge gamers. They're obnoxious and there's so many of them. You know, weird thing about Steam achievements is that when you look at, like, people who buy Steam games, the amount of people who buy a diverse amount of, like, titles and genres is actually very, very small. So the amount of people who could actually refer, like, the hardcore gaming demographic doesn't really exist. I mean, it does, but it's very minuscule, and that's an interesting bit of information because the stereotype of like existent gamers isn't necessarily real. I mean, it's like it's a class of person that exists, but if you ever had the suspicions that they actually play anything but the same thing over and over again, you can basically discount that because no, the people that call themselves like, oh, I'm a hardcore gamer, really does just play the same shit over and over and over again with no deviation. I don't know how much. I feel like I'm not able to get my words across very cleanly tonight, so I hope that worked.
Mike?
Mina.
I thought you were dead.
Why?
I heard they'd taken you into custody. After everything that happened, I didn't think they'd let you go.
They didn't.
You escaped?
But Striker's the guy ahead of me who was complaining Call of Duty wasn't
Mike,
popular anymore.
What's wrong? You sound different.
Who are you actually working for? Judging from the fact you're locked in this room, it's not Alpha Protocol.
No, it's not. Infiltrating this place, using the personnel here, that was my assignment. For every program like Alpha Protocol that tries to stay off the radar,
Discredit, he's buying
an
Elden Ring,
agency
so
like
that's at
mine
least
is
different than
ordered
Call of
to
Duty.
find them and watch them. Sometimes we succeed.
Why did you bring me into it? Just curious.
Westridge, Parker, Darcy, none of them could have been turned.
It's still a very mainstream game, though.
But I couldn't tell you everything.
You're
Like,
wrong.
it sold 10 million
At this
copies.
point, it doesn't matter. I need to erase all evidence I was here. And that
Alright,
means tying
guys.
up all the loose ends.
We're solidifying our heel turn.
I don't care. I've had to listen to you all this time. And now I want you to be quiet. Tell Layla the Mina situation has been handled.
We just killed the first person in the entire playthrough, and it was our handler, Mina. No one saw that coming. Oh, yeah! Bad guy playthrough. Despite what Souls fans want to think, Souls games are basic bitch games. Oh yeah, according to Arsic, there's like a 15% completion rate on PS5, and on Steam there's like a 13% completion rate, which is about on par with other video games. Like, despite the supposed difficulty, completion rates for Elden Ring are like, just the same as any other game. Now, I recently played a game where I got a story achievement at the halfway point that only 3% of people got. Which means only 3% of people made it halfway through that game. You want to talk obscure? There you go. There's also very low completion rates for God Eater Resurrection also. I think it was like, what, 4% for the final storyline achievement for, like, getting to the actual end of the game? I don't know how. I know it's really easy to check on Xbox. I don't know how easy it is to check on PlayStation. Yeah, so this money you're getting right here is worthless. Because, like, you can't spend it on anything. One other thing I have to say, which is why, like, Dark Souls 1 and 2 and Demon Souls were better. Alright, I don't know if I necessarily would call them better, but I think less popular, is because in those games, you occasionally had to, like, sit and wait and time your attacks better. Whereas, like, ever since Bloodborne came out, it's all been that hyper-aggressive gameplay, right? So, I think the reason that post-Bloodborne games have done better is because gamers do not have the patience to fucking not attack for half a second. I remember Deathmark trophies are all rare except for the first few. Deathmark trophies are super easy to get. Just play the game twice and you'll 100% the game. So that means people bought Deathmark, did the first chapter, and then quit. Yeah, you get that sometimes with more obscure ones.
I thought I was on my own. I've got a nice view from up here. You go ahead and do your thing.
You're not getting far. I'll be watching you.
Zip pie! Punch! Hunt, you know, we're not technically killing these guys, But they're definitely going to die from this because they're going to be in an exploding building. An exploding, flooding building. So if my PS4 connects to the internet, what game should I check? Well, theoretically, you could check all of them, because once you sync up your trophies to the PSN, to the best of my knowledge, it should just display all of the information at the same time. So you could just go through all of your trophies, really. My guess is whatever you think the, like, if what you're looking for is, like, the rare ones, my guess is whatever one you think is the rarest. Like, whichever game you think is either the worst one or the one that people are less likely to play.
Looks like Parker's been keeping himself busy. I'll have to terminate his contract.
Expected Halbeck to turn on us sooner than this. Hurry and set those charges.
He's wiping the data banks. Stop him before he destroys the evidence, or we'll have nothing.
You hear that?
Well, the problem is I'm not sure which one that would be. How about the most mainstream? The more mainstream it is, the more likely people will have played it, or will have gotten the achievements. But that's good too, to compare and contrast. Hell yeah. So this is where you kill Parker if you hadn't already teamed up with Parker.
But I cut off your escape route and your air.
Headed to the surface. Make sure you get to cover.
I'll circle around and meet up with you topside. Good luck.
Most mainstream PS4 games are probably Resident Evil, Life is Strange, South Park Fractured Butthole, Nier Automata, and maybe P5. Oh, yeah. Royal has a very high completion rate, too. The DMCA games. Oh, God. Of those, your most popular are probably going to be either P5. If you have Resident Evil 4, that's probably a good one. Automata was pretty popular, but honestly, I feel like the Automata achievements are going to push off, like I don't think most people will have gotten, like, the achievements past, like, Route A. Like, Route B achievements are going to be a lot less common than Route A achievements, for example.
Running out of staff. Darcy, get your men ready.
So I don't think Automata would have a very high completion rate.
Won't get by me.
Life is Strange is a little niche. So I would go... I would definitely go either P5 or Resident Evil are going to be the ones with the highest completion rates. Maybe DMC. Assuming you have, like, 5. World trophies are pretty easy to get. I have like 92% completion. Yeah, I got 100% completion in like no time at all. It was very quick. It was a lot easier than vanilla.
Well, there goes our flight out of here. Waste of a missile, but it seems like everybody on this island is trigger happy. Head for the wreckage. I asked the pilot to bring me a resupply in case
Which
Layla
I didn't
refused
actually
to
get
pay.
100% in vanilla because it was too much of a pain in my ass. Minus the reboot. That's okay. I don't think you should have even. I don't think there was any point in bothering the reboot. I don't think that one would have had a notably high completion rate anyway, considering the reception for it.
Hey, Mikey. Good to see you. Glad you made it out here to our live fire range. No more practice runs for you. This is the real deal. Keep
Which is, of course, the line he said at the beginning.
The only way out of here. Come on now. Come on, you gave more trouble when he first showed up here. Only wish Mina could see me kick your ass, Mikey. Looks like it's all up to me again.
The only thing I really remember from that game is I think you're fighting the succubus or something like that, right? And because I saw it in the demo, and like Dante's like, fuck you, and then the succubus is like, fuck you, and then Dante's like, fuck you. It's the stupidest thing ever. I still quote it to the day. It's that stupid. But I have seen the Shakespearean version, yes. Come on, game.
Got some for you.
Brilliance!
What's going on, Mike? Do you need help?
All done here. Just had to settle things with a colleague.
I stashed more weapons and ammo on the chopper. The one that had the missile accident. Get to it, see what you can recover.
Hurry if you can. Mr. Westridge is already making his preparations to leave.
So I believe, and don't 100% quote me on this, I believe the origin of the word fuck is actually Germanic, and it actually was originally used as the insulting like version rather than like the insult like fuck you, I believe was the original and not related to fornication. I believe it was like F-U-K in the original Germanic, but again, not 100% sure on that.